Welcome to The Explainer. Sometimes a single word can completely change the way you see everything. Today, we're going to look at one ancient word that might just do that for how you see your own mind. The word is Lobha. And yeah, we usually translate it as greed, but what if that's not the whole story? What if it's more like a contamination of your entire mental system? We're going to dig into a deeper, more physical meaning that's been hiding in plain sight, right inside the word itself. So here's the fascinating idea our source material puts forward. To really get what Lobha is, we have to kind of forget the whole abstract moral idea of greed. Instead, we're going to analyze its physical properties, almost like it's a substance we can study. So yeah, we're shifting our whole perspective here. We're moving away from making a moral judgment and toward looking at a tangible quality. Think of us as detectives, right? But instead of looking for motives, we're examining the physical evidence left behind in the mind. And here's why this is so important. The secret, according to our source, isn't in the definition that's been passed down for centuries. Nope. The real clue is hidden in the sound of the word itself. All right, so let's get into it. Let's dive into the evidence. We're going to actually break this word down into its ancient phonetic roots and see what it's really telling us. So check this out. The word isn't just one concept. It's actually describing a two-step physical process. First, you have lo, which means to dissolve, to flow, to melt. And then you have ba, which means to form, to manifest, to become. It's a sequence of events.
Okay, so here's the crucial part. When you put lo and ba together, Lobha isn't just about wanting something. No, it's describing the process of your mind's energy literally dissolving into an object and then reforming as a single sticky bond with it. The line between you and the thing you want just vanishes.
This totally reframes the whole idea, doesn't it? Lobha stops being a feeling you have and becomes a physical force. It's an adhesive energy, something that literally gums up the works of your mental system. Okay, so we've got this new definition, adhesive energy. Now let's see what that actually looks like in action. To really make this idea stick, pun intended, our source gives us 4 really powerful analogies that show this energy at work. All right, first up, just picture this. You take some thick, sticky maple syrup and you pour it all over your brand new smartphone screen. You know that touch interface is everything for that phone? And this is such a perfect illustration. See, the problem isn't the phone, the object of desire. The problem is the syrup, the stickiness that contaminates your perception and prevents the whole system from working in its original speed. Everything gets blurry and your mind just can't operate at full capacity. Okay, scenario 2. Now, picture a beautiful seabird trapped in an oil spill. Its feathers are just matted down with this heavy black oil. They're totally useless for flying. This shows just how powerful that adhesive energy of Lobha can be. The bird wants to fly, right? But the heavy adhesion of the oil pulls it down. It takes away its freedom. No matter how strong your will is to be free and light, this stickiness can just weigh you down.
All right, third one, and we've probably all had a nightmare like this. Think about that absolute disaster that happens when one single piece of chewing gum gets left in a pocket and goes through the dryer with a whole load of clean clothes.
This is a great analogy for strong possessiveness, that feeling of this is mine. It acts just like that piece of gum. It doesn't just stay in one place, it contaminates everything else, making the entire system sticky and messy. And for our last one, let's get a little technical. Think about the inside of your computer. You know that sticky layer of dust and gunk that builds up and clogs the cooling fan and the heatsink? It's a perfect metaphor for how this works. The sticky dust, that's Lobha, clogs the system. It blocks the airflow, right? And what happens when you block the airflow? The system overheats, and that overheating, that system failure, that's what the ancient texts called dukkha, or suffering. Okay, so if Lobha is this sticky contamination that gums everything up and causes the system to overheat, then the next logical question is, how do we clean it out? How do we restore clarity? Well, according to our source, the core problem, the real danger of this adhesive energy, isn't even the wanting part. It's the fact that it makes you heavy. It robs you of your mental lightness, your agility, your ability to move freely. And we often mislabel this stuff. We call this sticky attachment passion or even love. We romanticize it. But when you start to see it for what it is, just a stickiness phenomenon, that gives you the power to recognize it as a simple system malfunction. So what's the solution? Well, the source suggests it's not about fighting desire or trying to suppress it. It's actually much simpler than that. The first step is just to observe the stickiness without judgment, to recognize how it's degrading your system's performance. This kind of clear-eyed observation, by the way, is called sati, or awareness. And this is the real key. The moment you can just realize, this adhesive energy is lowering my system's resolution, that's when the cleaning begins. That awareness itself is the solvent. It's what starts to dissolve that sticky bond and bring things back to normal. So that's the big takeaway here. And it leaves us with a really practical question to think about. What sticky energy is slowing down your system's resolution today? What are you stuck to? And how is that invisible stickiness affecting the clarity and speed of your own mind?